This isn't just another day. This isn't just another moment. This is a call to rise. You felt it, the shift, the pull, the undeniable force pushing you towards something greater. You weren't made for mediocrity. You weren't placed here to blend in. You are here to lead, to transform, to step fully into the power that has always been waiting for you. The struggles, they weren't random. The setbacks, they weren't accidents. Every challenge, every doubt, every time you wanted to quit but didn't, it was all shaping you, refining you, proving that you are built differently. The world may have tried to test you, but it underestimated your resilience. Now, you stand at the threshold of something unstoppable. The foundation is set, the vision is clear, and the only thing left to do is move forward, without hesitation, without fear, without looking back. You are the storm. You are the shift. You are the one they didn't see coming. No more waiting, no more doubting. It's time to step into your destiny. True success is never about the applause of the crowd. It's about proving to yourself that you are an unstoppable force. The most powerful victories are the ones that unfold in silence, away from the spectacle, beyond the reach of doubters. You never needed their validation. You never needed their approval. What you needed was unshakable commitment, a vision carved out of persistence, and the patience to let your triumphs take root in their own time. Consider the sculptor who chisels away at a rough block of stone. For months, there is no masterpiece, only dust, sweat, and effort. Observers may dismiss it as aimless work, failing to see what is emerging beneath the surface. But when the final blow is struck, when the dust clears, an undeniable masterpiece stands where others once saw nothing. Your journey is no different. The sleepless nights, the unseen sacrifices, the moments of doubt that you crushed beneath your determination. These were the hidden strokes shaping your ascent. And when you finally step into the light, unshaken and undeniable, those who once overlooked you will scramble for explanations. Let them wonder. Let them whisper. They were never meant to understand the depths of your preparation. Because in the end, true success doesn't require validation. It commands recognition. Every setback, every moment of struggle was never meant to defeat you. It was meant to forge you into something unbreakable. What felt like an ending was nothing more than a transformation in disguise. Every wound, every rejection, every closed door was fuel for your evolution. Pain was never meant to destroy you. It was the fire that reshaped you. Think not of destruction, but of reinvention. Molten metal doesn't crumble in the flames. It becomes a sword. The trials that seemed like breaking points were actually refining moments, each one carving you into a sharper, stronger version of yourself. The betrayals, the failures, the obstacles, they weren't evidence of loss, but proof that something greater was being forged. Every hardship cleared the way for something better. Every test measured your ability to endure. And now, as you stand on the threshold of what comes next, you do so with a power that only those who have endured the fire can possess. If your heart overflows with God's blessings, let that love shine. Click the super thank you button and give $20 or more to plant seeds of faith that will impact countless lives. Your generosity reflects His abundance. Be a vessel of His grace and watch His kingdom flourish through you. There were moments when the weight of it all threatened to crush you, when the road ahead seemed too uncertain, when solitude felt like a heavier burden than the struggle itself. But you didn't stop. You didn't surrender. You pushed forward even when progress was invisible, even when doubt whispered that it would be easier to quit. The difference between those who rise and those who remain stuck isn't talent or luck. It's the relentless refusal to stop moving. People celebrate triumphs, but they rarely acknowledge the unseen battles that made them possible. They see the result, but not the late nights spent wrestling with uncertainty, the mornings where you forced yourself to rise despite exhaustion. They weren't there when you fought wars within your own mind and won. That's what sets you apart. That's what makes your rise undeniable. You weren't merely tested by the fire. You became something far greater because of it. What shaped you was never the weight of what tried to break you. It was the strength you uncovered while rebuilding. You are not a remnant of past struggles. You are proof that obstacles can be turned into stepping stones. This journey was never about proving others wrong. It was about proving to yourself that nothing could erase your fire. Being chosen was never about having an easy road. It was about having the endurance to walk the hardest one. The setbacks, the betrayals, the barriers. They weren't punishments. They were the marks of someone being molded for something greater. Resilience isn't crafted in peaceful moments. It is carved through hardship, formed in the moments when surrender would have been the easier choice. Picture the blacksmith hammering metal, bending it under intense heat, striking it again and again. Each blow is painful, but necessary. Each impact strengthens, refines, and reshapes, until finally, what was once raw material emerges as something unbreakable. That's what happened to you. The trials you endured weren't signs of misfortune. They were signals that you were meant for more. Long before you even saw your own strength, the resistance against you revealed it. The more they tried to break you, the more they unknowingly sharpened you. The forces that stood in your way were not obstacles. They were indicators of your potential. That's why the opposition was so relentless. That's why every step forward felt like pushing through a storm. But now, here you are, standing, rising, moving forward despite it all. And with that survival comes responsibility. Being chosen means you no longer have the luxury of wasting time on distractions, on battles that drain rather than build, on paths that pull you away from your purpose. Every hardship prepared you for this moment. The chaos was never meant to destroy you. It was meant to teach you how to stand firm in uncertainty. Now the time has come to embrace everything you were meant to be, without hesitation, without fear, without looking back. A mind anchored in purpose is unshaken by the turbulence of the world. The ability to stay focused amid distraction is what separates those who drift from those who rise. Vision is the difference between being lost in the storm and navigating through it with precision. Imagine a traveler crossing an unmarked desert. The sun is merciless. The winds shift the sands. The landscape offers no clear path. Those without direction will wander aimlessly, allowing discomfort to make their decisions. But the one who knows their destination doesn't rely on what's immediately visible. They trust their internal compass, moving forward no matter how uncertain the terrain appears. This is the mindset you must adopt. The distractions will come. The critics will speak. The unexpected will challenge your resolve. But if you allow every fleeting obstacle to dictate your course, you will never arrive where you were destined to be. Keep your focus locked on what truly matters, and no amount of resistance will be enough to stop you. For many are called, but few are chosen. Matthew 22:14. Some walk through life waiting for a sign, a voice from the heavens, a miraculous moment to confirm what was always in them. But the truth is, the calling has been there since the beginning. It was written in your spirit before you even took your first breath. You were never meant to fit into the mold of the world, never meant to follow the crowd, never meant to settle where others found comfort. That unsettling feeling, that push inside of you that says, "There's more, I was made for more." That was never doubt. That was divine direction. Picture a lighthouse standing tall on the edge of a stormy sea. The winds howl, the waves crash, the sky turns black. But the lighthouse does not move. It does not question its purpose. It does not ask for permission to shine. It stands firm, because it was built to withstand the storm. That's you. While others see chaos, you see an opportunity to stand stronger. While they focus on the storm, you focus on the shore beyond it. Not everyone is built to walk the path you've chosen. The higher you rise, the more distant you become from those who settle for the ordinary. The road narrows when you step into something greater. The world isn't designed to make things easy for those who see beyond the surface. While others are fixated on roadblocks, you recognize hidden doorways. While they are paralyzed by doubt, you move with conviction. See, true visionaries don't navigate by what's visible. They follow an internal compass others don't even realize exists. That ability to perceive beyond limitations, that's not just intelligence, that's spiritual alignment. That's favor. That's proof that what's inside of you is bigger than anything in front of you. And here's what you need to know. When you step into your power, the very atmosphere shifts. You don't have to explain yourself. You don't have to prove your worth. The force of your purpose is already at work. People feel it, even if they don't understand it. They may question you, they may doubt you, they may not recognize who you're becoming, but that's not your concern. Lions don't explain their roar. Eagles don't apologize for soaring. And you don't have to dim your light for those still adjusting to the brightness. The world may try to shake you, but the foundation you stand on is unshakable. This isn't just about success. This is about stepping fully into the person you were always meant to be. Keep walking, keep rising, keep building. What's ahead of you is greater than anything you've left behind. There is no need to seek validation or demand recognition. Real power doesn't ask for permission to be seen. A storm doesn't announce itself before it reshapes the sky. When you rise, when you refuse to shrink into expectations that never fit you, your existence alone shifts the dynamic of every space you enter. Negativity is palpable, even when unspoken. Walk into a room burdened with doubt, and you'll feel the weight of it in the air. But the same is true in reverse. Those who carry clarity, unwavering certainty, and an unbreakable spirit shift atmospheres simply by being present. It is an unspoken force, undeniable and inescapable. This is what you bring, an unshaken presence that doesn't need to demand attention because its very nature commands it. Not everyone will embrace the way your presence shifts the world around you. Some will be drawn to your fire, inspired by the way you refuse to be confined. Others will feel threatened, unsettled by the way you expose the illusions they've convinced themselves to live within. But that is not your burden to carry. You weren't meant to fit into spaces too small for your expansion. You weren't meant to silence yourself for the comfort of those who refuse to grow. When you elevate, the entire foundation shifts. Some will rise with you, others will resist. That is their choice. It is not your responsibility. Your only task is to continue becoming, to keep stepping into your power without hesitation, without compromise. The weight of stagnation is far heavier than the price of evolution. Walking away from what no longer aligns isn't loss, it is the necessary release that makes way for something greater. Growth demands movement, and sometimes The heaviest chains are not external forces, but the outdated attachments you've outgrown. Behold, I am doing a new thing. Now it springs forth. Do you not perceive it? Isaiah 43:19. There comes a time when God shifts your life, and you feel it deep in your spirit. Something is changing. What used to fit no longer feels right. The spaces that once felt like home now feel like a prison. The conversations that once excited you now drain you. And that's not because something is wrong. It's because you're growing. And growth always demands release. Think of a bird that has outgrown its nest. When it was small, the nest was protection, a place of comfort, a space where it belonged. But the moment its wings are strong enough, the very thing that once kept it safe now holds it back. It can either stay cramped and confined, or it can spread its wings and step into the sky it was made for. That's where you are right now. Strength isn't found in holding on. It's found in knowing when to release. Walking away from what no longer serves you isn't a sign of weakness. It's the ultimate act of power. There comes a moment when what once fit begins to feel restrictive, when familiar places start to feel like chains instead of foundations. And that moment isn't meant to break you, it's meant to wake you up. Growth demands space, and refusing to let go of what has expired only delays the transformation that's waiting to unfold. But here's what happens. Too many people hold on, clinging to old relationships, outdated beliefs, dead-end jobs, and toxic habits because they are afraid of what comes next. They are scared that if they release, there will be nothing left. But that's not faith. That's fear. And fear will keep you trapped in a chapter you were meant to outgrow. Imagine a tree in autumn, stubbornly refusing to let go of its leaves. The seasons are changing, but it's trying to hold on to what was. It doesn't realize that by clinging to what's dying, it's blocking the new life that is waiting to bloom. That's what happens when you refuse to let go. You block what's next because your hands are too full of what no longer belongs. Not everyone is meant to accompany you into the next chapter, and trying to drag them forward only burdens your own ascent. You see, some people were assigned to your past, not your future. And that's not a bad thing. It just means their part in your story is complete. The problem comes when you keep forcing connections that were never meant to last forever. Letting go is never easy. Sometimes it feels like loss. Sometimes it feels like betrayal. But nothing is more self-destructive than shrinking yourself just to make others comfortable. The price of growth is sacrifice. Old cycles, outdated mindsets, and misplaced loyalties must be released. And yet, the moment you surrender to this truth, space is created for what was always meant to enter. What once felt like loss reveals itself as liberation. Opportunities arise, clarity sharpens, and alignment becomes effortless. Detachment is not abandonment. It is the conscious choice to step fully into who you are meant to be, unburdened by what no longer belongs. God is calling you higher, but you can't take unnecessary weight with you. It's time to release. It's time to trust. It's time to step into what's waiting for you with open hands and an open heart. Because what's ahead, it's greater than anything you're leaving behind. The things that are truly meant for you will never require you to force them. Desperation repels, while alignment attracts. Struggle arises when you chase what was never meant to stay, when you attempt to fit into places that were never built for you. But when you move in sync with your purpose, the resistance fades, not because the journey is easy, but because every step feels intentional. Consider the way the tide meets the shore. It does not beg, nor does it fight. It moves in harmony with forces greater than itself, and in that flow, everything finds its place. The same happens when you fully embrace who you are, without hesitation. The more you release what contradicts your purpose, the more you step into a state of natural magnetism. The right people, the right opportunities, the right experiences, they arrive effortlessly, not because you demanded them, but because you became the version of yourself that was ready to receive them. For God has not given us a spirit of fear, but of power and of love and of a sound mind. 2 Timothy 1:7. Fear is a thief. It steals dreams, delays breakthroughs, and convinces people to stay in places they've outgrown. It whispers lies, telling you that you can't, that you won't, that if you step out, you'll fall. But here's the truth. Fear is not of God. Fear is a chain forged by doubt, and its only purpose is to keep you locked in a version of life that no longer serves you. Think of an eagle raised in a cage. It was born with wings, designed for the sky, yet all it has known are the bars around it. When the door is finally opened, it hesitates, not because it isn't meant to fly, but because it has only known limits. That's how fear works. It convinces you that the walls around you are safer than the open sky. But deep down, you were made for more. Fear keeps people shackled to what no longer serves them. They cling to routines that suffocate them, relationships that drain them, and belief systems that no longer align, not because they truly belong there, but because uncertainty terrifies them. The mind seeks familiarity, even when familiarity is a prison. But stepping into alignment demands trust. It requires the courage to release what has expired, even when the next step is still unseen. It means accepting that if something unravels, it was never part of the bigger plan. If a path is blocked, it wasn't meant to be walked. Every closed door, every rejection, every sudden shift is simply God recalibrating your direction. What is truly meant for you will never demand that you compromise your worth to attain it. If you have to force something, if it drains you rather than fuels you, it was never yours to begin with. Desperation repels destiny, but confidence, patience, and faith, they magnetize the things that were always meant to find you. When you embody the energy of your highest self, opportunities don't need to be chased. They are drawn to you effortlessly. Think of a river flowing downstream. It doesn't fight to move forward, it simply follows the path it was designed to take. It doesn't force the rocks to move. It doesn't battle against its course. It flows, trusting that it is being carried exactly where it needs to go. That is what alignment looks like. That is what it means to trust. And trust isn't passive. It's a decision. It's waking up every day and choosing to believe that you are exactly where you need to be. That what is unfolding is happening for you, not to you. It's refusing to settle for anything that requires you to beg, shrink, or betray your own growth. It's knowing that the very things you are afraid to release are the things standing in the way of what's already waiting for you. So, let the past fall away. Let old stories die. Let broken connections dissolve. Fear may try to hold you back, but it has no real power. It only has the influence you allow it to have. You were never meant to live small, confined, or uncertain. You were made for expansion. You were made for overflow. You were made for more. And the moment you truly step into that belief, the doors that once seemed locked will open. Not because you chased them, but because you finally became the version of yourself that was ready to walk through them. The battles you faced were never meant to stop you. They were designed to prepare you. Every challenge, every delay, every setback wasn't a punishment. It was conditioning. Resistance only appears when progress is being made. Those who remain stagnant rarely encounter opposition. It is only when you begin to push beyond limits, break cycles, and evolve that adversity intensifies. That isn't coincidence, it's confirmation. Growth is never quiet, never easy, never without its costs. The moment you choose to step beyond comfort, the world will push back. But just as metal is tempered through fire, just as the sculptor must strike stone to reveal its true form, you too are being shaped by every trial. Each difficulty has sharpened you, not weakened you. And though it may not have felt like it at the time, every wound, every detour, every moment of doubt was a crucial step in forging the person you are becoming. Struggle is often misunderstood. Many see hardship and assume it means retreat. They mistake friction for failure, setbacks for signs that they should quit. But nothing of value has ever been built without resistance. No innovator, no leader, no pioneer has ever walked an effortless road. Look back on your own journey, the moments of the deepest pain, the greatest uncertainty, the hardest lessons. Those weren't random obstacles. They were proving grounds. They were moments designed to test your resolve, to see if you truly had the strength to claim what you said you wanted. But what those forces never anticipated was that you wouldn't break. That instead of retreating, you adapted. Instead of collapsing, you learned how to rise. And now, here you stand, unshaken, undefeated. The resistance didn't destroy you, it revealed you. It exposed the depth of your resilience, the strength of your discipline, and the unwavering force of your will. When the path becomes difficult, when resistance rises against you, understand this. It is not a signal to turn back. It is proof that you are exactly where you need to be. Strength isn't found in ease. It is forged in persistence. Those who carve their own way will always face opposition because their existence disrupts the norm. Keep moving, not out of stubbornness, but because every challenge is a testament to your readiness. The trials were never there to stop you. They were there to confirm your direction. And beyond the struggles, beyond the setbacks, lies something greater than achievement. It is the mark you leave behind. Every moment of endurance, every lesson learned, every time you rose instead of retreated, you weren't just shaping your own future. You were laying a foundation for those who will follow, proving through action that transformation is possible. The impact of your journey is bigger than you realize. Every battle fought, every obstacle overcome, every hardship endured, none of it was in vain. Growth isn't just a personal triumph. It is a ripple effect that extends far beyond the self. Think of a builder shaping a monument, not just for their own legacy, but as a structure that will stand long after they are gone. The struggles you faced were not just meant to shape you. They were meant to serve as proof for others that resilience leads to something greater. People don't connect with perfection. They find strength in stories of perseverance. Right now, someone is watching, searching for evidence that survival is possible, that breaking cycles is real, that hardship does not mean the end. And every time you rise, every time you press forward, you become that proof. Not by words, but by action. But leaving a legacy isn't just about inspiration. It's about creating something lasting. Every lesson learned, every truth uncovered, every breakthrough reached should not fade with you. It is your responsibility to ensure that everything you have fought for continues beyond your own lifetime. The journey was never just about personal success. It was about shifting mindsets, setting new standards, and showing that limitation is a choice. True fulfillment isn't stumbled upon. It is claimed, built, and safeguarded. And once it is yours, the next step is to illuminate the way for others to claim their own. The struggles were never proof of failure. They were preparation for this moment. Every setback was sharpening you for the life you were meant to step into. The doors you once thought were locked were never out of reach. They were waiting for you to become the version of yourself strong enough to walk through them. And now, there is nothing left to chase, nothing left to prove. What belongs to you was never meant to be begged for. It was always destined to be claimed. There is no need for validation, no need for explanation. This is not a moment of arrogance, but one of quiet certainty. Every lesson, every hardship, every triumph has led to this. Step forward, not with hesitation, but with the unshakable presence of someone who knows they have arrived.